This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 68, 5 Mistakes Companies Make During Downturns by Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. And I'm Dan, your host, and I'm here reading to you every single day to help you optimize your business life. And for now, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. 5 Mistakes Companies Make During Downturns by Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. Here's the reality. Companies make mistakes all the time. In an economic downturn, however, avoiding the big slip-ups becomes all the more crucial. Small business owners tend to react impulsively at times, and while this may earn them some points for courage, in a rough economy they should definitely take the long view and pace themselves. To get funded, stay funded, and even stretch your day-to-day cash flow, you'll need to avoid some key mistakes. If you've made them already, it's time for a strong course correction. Here are my top 5 blunders to absolutely avoid during a downturn. Number 1. Hasty hiring. Result? Bad hires who are costly and time-consuming. It's better to try out new staff members as independent contractors first. Then, after you're confident that they work well with your team and within your organization, bring them on as permanent hires. When you're overwhelmed and overworked, it's easy to make hiring mistakes. That's why relying on contractors is a great policy. Check out sites like AskSunday.com for administrative help. They have great buzz and a wide variety of hourly rates to work with, in some cases $12 per hour. For marketing, bookkeeping, and other help, try out workaholicsforhire.com or similar marketplaces. And don't make the mistake of staffing up fully only to discover that your business operates in waves. Have a lean team and hire extra hands for the heavier times. Remember, try out your team members before making them permanent. Number 2, expenses before revenue. Result? Financial pressure and personally funding your business. It's definitely better to live below your means and grow more slowly. A compelling example of this common mistake is a clothing retailer who recently contacted me, desperate for a quick $200,000 loan. She had never built up the credit rating for her 15-year-old business. She had simply been too busy spotting the latest fashion trends and, in turn, buying inventory on her personal credit cards. Sure, she had racked up zillions of frequent flyer miles, but her company wasn't the least bit creditworthy. Ultimately, when she hit tough economic times, she had to scramble for a personal loan. To top it off, her personal credit score had been damaged significantly over just a few missed payments on her 6-digit balance. Ouch! Number 3, skipping the 6-month plan. Result? Strategy of the second and very little accomplished. It's better to map out the next 6 months, and if a new project comes up, swap it out with one of equal complexity that is already on your plan. Entrepreneurs can be excessive idea generators. I know I am. With a 6-month plan, you will have mapped out the projects for the immediate, foreseeable future and can skillfully avoid manic distractions with poor results. Consider the perils of one company with the painful strategy of the second plan. Each time its mercurial CEO returned from a conference, he'd have a new idea. Were they good ones? Often. But his already stretched staff had no spare energy. Since they had not learned to communicate clearly with one another, they would take on the project. But all sorts of key tasks would, of course, get dropped or delayed, and no one was happy. Ultimately, you need a gatekeeper for the 6-month plan if you want your company to run efficiently. This is someone who will ensure the new projects are either scheduled for later or replace existing projects of equal size. Someone who will constantly see the big picture, tackle the small details, and facilitate real results every step of the way. By the way, once the CEO in question put a 6-month plan in place, his staff was happier, fewer tasks were dropped, and the revenue came rolling in. Number 4, pointless partnerships. Result? Time-consuming meetings and planning sessions that do not result in revenue. It is much better to only take on partners for a specific purpose, one that can be monetized within the next 90 days. Partnerships are not about press releases. They're about massive marketing benefits that will lead to revenue or direct revenue generation right now. I can't emphasize the now part enough. You can waste a tremendous amount of time on irrelevant partnerships that may have a long-term glorious future, but for right now, they simply are not worth your time and energy. In difficult times, stay focused. Partner for benefits that you can expect within 90 days or less. Push the longer-term deals off your plate. You'll get to them later in more stable times. Number 5, chasing all sales leads. Result? Wasting time on prospects who will not become clients. A CEO complained recently that she had chased a key account for 4 months. 4 months! She finally lost hope that they would ever become a client. When asked if she had a disqualification process, she clearly was confused. Here's the net. You only want to spend time with real prospects. Create a disqualification process so you can quickly remove contacts from your sales pipeline that will most likely never buy your product or service. In tough economic times especially, you must focus your energies on productive revenue streams. Finally, hang in there and stay hopeful. We have all made mistakes in business. You will definitely get better at rebounding and reducing the amount of time before a lucrative exit. The point is to course correct constantly. Spot a mistake and take action to correct it. I'd like to hear about mistakes you're grappling with, or biggies I didn't mention. You just listened to the post titled 5 Mistakes Companies Make During Downturns by Christine Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. And thank you to Gusto. Instead of reading a script about Gusto's payroll and benefits, we wanted to tell you what small business owners say. The people who use Gusto every day. Here's what one business says. With Gusto, I think of payroll as a 30-second job. The website is so friendly and a joy to use. Friendly payroll? You don't hear that every day. Amy from Utah says, I love Gusto so much. They do our medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. It's so painless, it's like going to the spa. And we have great options and rates, even though we're a super small team. Health insurance, like going to the spa? Wow. And here's what Amneat says about Gusto's support team. Whenever something comes up, I reach out and literally 24 hours later, they tell us what to do or assure us that they've already handled it for us. Smart technology and friendly humans? That's cool. Honestly, the list goes on. And right now, our listeners get 3 months free when they go to gusto.com/OSD. Yep, 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more, totally free. Again, that's gusto.com/OSD. gusto.com/OSD. And thanks so much to Christine for letting us share her work. She is sought after for providing proven strategies to shift executive behavior to create more positive outcomes, enroll and align teams in times of change, and profoundly increase sales, product offerings, and company value. Her coaching, consulting, and strategies have created hundreds of billions of dollars in new revenue and company value for her clients. The potent neuroscience techniques she teaches are easy to learn and immediately applicable to help leaders see into their blind spots, expand their vision, and more effectively influence outcomes. She's been thanked by Bill Clinton, and Bill Gates called her super high bandwidth. And you can come by SmartTribesInstitute.com for a lot more. And that's it for another edition of Optimal Startup Daily. Hope you have a great start to your week. And I'll be back again with you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.